excited because I wanted to tell y'all a little bit more about Parvati's story because it's juicy, y'all. It's tea, okay? So, if you want to learn a little bit more about how to manifest love the goddess way, utilizing your goddess energy from the goddess of fertility, love, and devotion, Parvati, stay tuned. All right, so let's get into it. So I took some notes because y'all know when I start teaching, I get excited and I start like forgetting stuff. So y'all know last night we talked about the goddess Parvati, right? So she came through to me early in the day and like, y'all, when I gotta get on here and teach, like my whole system be wrecked until I get it done. It's like I gotta birth the baby or I'll be going crazy, right? So we got one, we made it a Queen TV After Dark. So I wanted to get a little bit more into what exactly does it mean for your soul to evolve? What did that look like for a goddess, right? So let me tell y'all a little bit about her story, y'all. It's tea. All right, so what had happened was that, all right, so Shiva's wife died, right? So Shiva was married to Shakti, okay? So Shakti died and Shiva went to the mountains because he was so sad. He went into the mountains to mourn his wife's death, right? So in the interim, the demons from the underworld, oh, that was bothering me, y'all. So the demons from the underworld were overtaking the gods in the heavens. Okay, this is the story, all right? And this is from the Hindu pantheon. So the demons from the underworld were overtaking the gods in the heavens, right? So only a son from the god Shiva could defeat the demons, right? So Shiva's in the mountains mourning his wife that died, right? He ain't getting no dussy. He ain't doing nothing. So, like, how he going, okay, right? So, what had happened was that is why Parvati was created. She was reincarnated, okay? And she was reincarnated specifically to be his wife and bore him a son that would defeat the demons that were overtaking the heavens, right? So, she come on the scene. She attempts to seduce him out of the mountains. Failed attempts. She had multiple failed attempts at seducing him out of the mountains. Okay? So then what did she decide to do, guys? She went into her own spiritual practices. She was like, all right, bump that. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to just get into me. So she started getting heavily into meditating and her own spiritual practices, right? Long story short, Shiva was impressed. So he made her his wife, right? They had 2 kids. They had Ganesh and they had Shando. Shando was the god of war. Ganesh was the god that removes all obstacles, okay? So ultimately, Shando and Kali Ma, who is another form of Shakti, defeated the demons. Right, all right. So let's get into this. Y'all know I told y'all I had multiple personalities. And I ain't gonna lie. As I've been doing my research on the goddesses, some of these goddesses remind me of people that I know, like celebrities, everything, right? So as we evolve and raise our consciousness, we tap in more with the divine realm, right? And we understand that we have the ability to create the life that we want. We have the ability to become the person that we want, all of those things, right? But what I'm learning is we be having some help from the other side to when a goddess is about to come and bless your life and make her presence evidence in her life, she is going to bring along something about her and it's going to cause you to pay homage to her, right? So over the weekend, I just decided to wear a scarf. I just was in the mood to wear a long flowing scarf. Why did I find out that one of the symbolisms of Parvati is her tip? She's always in a red dress and she may have a headband on, right? So let's get to the juicy part. So her and Shiva is together. Y'all, this is a hot and steamy couple. This one I might have to read my notes because I might get a little excited. All right. So, some of the symbolisms of Parvati, you will see her. I want y'all to do y'all research. you're going to see her oftentimes. She is going to, when she's depicted with her husband, she has 2 arms. When she's not, she has 4 arms. One of the arms always has a lotus in it, and when she has 4 arms, she's also putting up the mudra that means don't fear. So don't fear that your manifestations are not coming into fruition. You just got to focus on you, become devoted to your spiritual practice, and and embrace all your motherfucking forms, embrace all your forms. So ultimately, she had 10 different representations of her as a goddess. Y'all know I told y'all I had 9 personalities. Like, yo, I'm telling y'all, you can create who do you want to be? Sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Sometimes I'll be watching myself, like, I'll be watching my videos back. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm that girl. I'm that motherfucking girl. Like, I'm the girl I wanted to be. So, who do you want to be? Because you could become her. All right. So, anyway, all right. So, also some of her symbolisms is the golden yoni and the embryo, right? Which represents the source of creation and the evolution. Wait, let me make sure I say it right. Which represents the source of creation, and the evolution, and the universe's evolution through time, right? All right, so the hot and steamy part, y'all, her and her husband, her man, all right, they were a hot and steamy couple. When you see pictures of her, oftentimes she's depicted, they said she is depicted looking on her man's miraculous works, right? Or her and her man playing a game, right? So their relationship, because she is the god of fertility, love, she often helped people with their marriages, and she helped people with parenting. Her and her husband represented co-creation. So there is lots and lots of pictures of them depicted as many pictures of her depicted in the many stages in different forms of the how did they say it? Sexual act? They was tea. They was sexy. So some of their pictures, which are displayed in the pyramids, different statues, y'all gotta go through y'all research. They are a hot and steamy couple, okay? But what she is teaching us is that sometimes to seduce that man that you want, to get the man that you really want, the man of your dreams, like, also her symbolism, is she's a benevolent being. I forgot that part. She's a benevolent being, okay? So that means she's always representing good. She has 10 different forms because she came into different times and time frames to build her worshipers and destroy the works of evil. We love her, right? Also, other ways that you may see her when she's depicted in her benevolent form is she's going to be sitting on a throne and she's going to have a parrot. The parrot represents cheerful chatter. So all my little cute, chatty, Cathy, soft girls out there that's like, need a man that's going to listen to you chitty chat all day, yeah. She here to remind you that he's coming. And then also too, you'll see her depicted with the crescent moon by her head, representing that she is the other half of Shiva, because the moon represents the feminine energy, the sun represents the masculine energy. So we love her, right? She's sexy. She's tea. Manifesting like the goddesses, okay? Her and her husband represent the procreation of the universe. So yeah, you guys, I'm loving learning more about the goddesses. I hope you guys are loving learning more about the goddesses as well, and being able to see where you have already picked up certain things, certain attributes that would give you some clues and some indicators that you had a past life as a queen, a goddess. The goddesses are initiating you, and all that good stuff. So yeah, stay true to your past, stay determined on your path, and everything you want is going to be added to you. I love you guys.